All right, great. So let's get started now. Firstly, super congratulations to all of you for getting the IIM Kozhikode call. It's one of the most prestigious calls in your Blackie IIMs. So I hope all of you guys are happy. Yes, no, कुछ तो reactions दो. इतनी अच्छी call आ गई है.
Yes, we are.
Lovely, great. So your seniors are just joining in. So basically, there is, if you guys know, IIM Kozhikode has its fest called as Backwaters. So that is going on currently as we talk here. So your seniors are just rushing back from there, and then they will join in. Till they come in, let's have a little quick chat from all of you. Everybody in the chat, just type in your CAT percentile. Just keep typing in your CAT percentile. That would be really helpful. Let's see what is the lowest that someone has gotten a call. Okay, we have 95, 97.08, 97.57, 99.34, 97.13, 97.98, 99.11, 99.87, 97.78, 96.92, 96.96, 98.21, 89, 98.07, 97.52, 98.28, 97.94, 96.16, 98.89, 99.61, 97.48, 91.18, 90.94. Okay, great. Yashasvi, Anshuman, Mihir, you guys have got any category or general? Okay, category, ठीक है, done. All right, so I think for general students, I can see somewhere around 96.1. That seems to be the lowest. All right. Now, जो भी आपका score है, ठीक है, everybody has got equal opportunities to convert it. Now is the most important time that you need to start preparing for your personal interviews. So make sure you put in your hard and, every full efforts to make sure we convert it. Quick next check from everybody. किसके लिए ये बेस्ट कॉल है? Just write best call in the chat if IIM Kozhikode is your best call. Okay, best call. Oh, so many of you guys. Lovely, great. Boss, then you have to make sure that you pledge today that we are going to convert IIM Kozhikode by hook or crook. Just make sure you pledge that and you put in all the efforts. It's amazing campus. Trust me, I've been to the campus and you will fall in love with the campus, how amazing it's location, the weather, everything. And yes, of course, the faculty's curriculum placements wo to hai hi acha, but you've got to make sure you first convert it. No, I would say Lucknow is better, Harshit, as compared to Kozhikode as yet. Lucknow call hai to pehle Lucknow ko convert karo. Okay, so keep that in mind. Lovely. Have you guys got your interview dates? Yes, everybody, can you type in your interview dates as well? So let's see when are your interviews. Okay, 3rd Feb, 4th Feb, 3rd Feb, 3rd March, 20th Feb, 7th Feb, March 19th, 6th Feb, 20th Feb, 20th Feb, 14th March, Feb 25th, 18th Feb, 5th Feb, 18th Feb, 3rd March, 11th March, 8th March, 26th March, 19th Feb, 7th Feb, 11th March. So I think the first someone is there is 3rd Feb, right? 24th March, काफी end में है. 26th March, we all pretty fag end. Feb 18th, okay, interesting. 3rd Feb वाले हमारे first, let's see who's going. Arfa, Anshuman, and Astha on 4th of Feb. Lovely. So all the ones you have like just 15 days in hand. Make sure ये 15 days पूरी की पूरी मेहनत चल रही है, ठीक है? I hope all of you guys have been attending your class every day. Yes, okay, lovely, great. One more quick check from everybody. Type in how many of you guys are there from the turbo or intensive. Just keep writing turbo, intensive, mocks. That would be really helpful. Okay, mocks, turbo, lovely. Great. So these are all the students who've been there from a long time, and the rest of you guys are here from the GDPI phase. Nice, lovely. I think we have your seniors. Mr. Heath has joined in. Hi, Heath. Welcome on board.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Heath. Lovely, great. So quickly, let me, I cannot see you right now, but
It's my video is on.
yes, Heath, your video is also visible. Lovely. Let's get started quickly. So what we will do is, the objective of the session is we'll make sure we understand how you go about your preparation from IIM Kozhikode interviews. How was your interview experience as well? So we'll quickly go one by one, and the other seniors, we have Ananta and Aman also joining in. Till then, we will discuss with Heath. I think Heath has been a veteran again here with the CATKing family. He's been coming on all our sessions. I think Heath from the last 3 years, I would say.
Yes, ma'am.
Lovely. So why don't you first, Heath, give us a quick introduction about you, your profile, your background, like pre-IIM Kozhikode, what it was, and how was your life at IIM Kozhikode before we talk about the interviews and how to prepare.
Definitely, ma'am. So is Rahul sir joining us? Any idea?
Our sir is not going to be joining us today, so I will be taking up the session.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Heath. I recently completed my MBA from IIM Kozhikode, batch of 2024. Uh, Pre MBA, I had done my undergraduation from Meetup College, Mumbai. I had done my undergraduation in bachelor's in financial markets, and post which I joined IIM Kozhikode directly. I did not have any work experience. This is currently my first job going on. I work at Bank of New York in the corporate treasury division, and that's all about me. And coming to my interview experience and everything, I'll just share it in a while.
Okay, that's lovely. Great. Ananta, you are also connected. Please, could you switch on your camera and give us a quick introduction about you as well?
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yes.
Hi, so I'm currently pursuing my MBA from IIM Kozhikode. I'm in my first year. We just have our term 3 that has just started. So I am a fresher. I have done my graduation from Ramjas College, University of Delhi. Post that, I took like a break for 6 months. I was running my startup that I started in the first year of my college in DU. And I scored a 99.21 percentile in CAT. And yeah, and I'm here currently right now studying in my first year. Yes.
Okay, lovely. Great. Let's get started. Before we talk about more details, Ekdam, why don't both of you just quickly share how was your interview experience for IIM Kozhikode, and then we will talk about how to go about preparing for the same right now. So, Heath, first, let's go out with you. Could you share your interview experience? What all questions you were asked, and how was the faculties?
Sure, ma'am. Definitely. So basically, I was asked about more of my profile overall. What all I had studied in my undergraduation. What all did I do in my internships? Because I had mentioned a couple of internships in the CAT form as well. So I was asked more on that as well. And apart from that, it was a pretty stressful interview, like stress-free interview, not that difficult. But at the same time, they expect you a lot in terms of the overall knowledge that you that a candidate requires, like the general knowledge of that particular state, of that particular college, overall, how why MBA, why IIM Kozhikode specifically, that was more important because at the end of the day, we just need to convince them that why are we the best for that particular college. And and it's been a long while right now, so ma'am, I don't remember the exact things, but I'm just giving you a
Okay,
brief about
no
it.
worries. No worries. That's really good. Yes, Ananta, how about you? How was your interview like, and what kind of questions were you asked?
Right. So, more so, like, they did not delve into my profile as much. The minute, like, they asked me an introduction question, tell me about yourself, and that kind of led into the entire interview. So, more so, like, since I come from a zoology honors, most of my questions were around it. Like, they asked, like, really, and I'm telling you, these are things that we have not studied. So, I don't know what idea they had about, like, zoology in itself. And then they asked me about like random questions about, things like xenoglossia and like core biology questions that are not even taught. I also have like a mental health startup. So then the conversation, because they actually wanted, you to be quite chill. There was one professor who was sitting on the sofa having, chai biscuits, and like the other one sitting, front. I mean, they really made me comfortable. I'll just give them that. Post that, after some biology questions, they asked me about like, have you seen this movie Aparichit? And so they were kind of gauging as to how can I handle these like out of the blue questions. And wherein I just talked about, and they wanted to know about my opinion about, do you believe in something about rebirth or all that, gauging like coming from like my mental health startup. So that was there. And more so, again, like I'll tell you, Koikor was one of my worst interviews that I had given, like worst. That was like, I can't emphasize, like, so I had calls from FMS, IIM Lucknow, and Koikor and others as well. But like, I was pretty sure Koikor is not going to happen. And because they also asked me questions like, neural chip inserted in the brain, and what exactly is that? So these are very far-sighted essay GK questions that I still don't get answered to right now, even if I go on Google. So yeah, and actually, I didn't even mention in my hobby that I, like reading books. Though I actually do like reading books, I just did not want them to take it as a question. But they randomly asked me, what is the one takeaway from the book Secret? Like,
Okay.
and I hadn't read the book actually. I mean, I had, but read it way back, so I
Hmm.
had to just like. And then I said, "Sir, I have not read it," and he was like, "Tell me, still take a guess." I'm like, "Okay," and I still had to. So that's that.
Okay. So what did they ask you about when you talk about, your mental health startup? And could you tell us more about it so that people can also start, thinking about the similar lines?
Right. So, in IIM Kozhikode interview, actually, the questions started being focused more on mental health, not as exactly the business model and how I ran the, organization. So they wanted to just gauge my knowledge of it. They started asking me about Pygmalion effect and all that, which I now realize is actually a very common topic in MBA, especially when you start, reading OB and HR. They teach you that here. So I think if that is concerned, like the domains that you worked on, some questions might be asked from the things that are going to be taught in the MBA curriculum, which might be very new to you, but not so much, new for the professors. And yeah, but in other interviews, I was asked about my startup, like a lot. Yeah.
So if you were, since you gave, other interviews also like FMS, I'm Lucknow, I'm Kozhikode,
Hmm.
and felt this was the worst. So if you could
Hmm.
tell us, what kind of questions were you asked in your FMS and Lucknow interviews, also based on your profile, because yours is a
Right.
different profile, right? Like, coming from zoology honors and then
Hmm.
why.
Hmm, hmm.
So any
Right.
question which you felt was offbeat that was asked to you?
Right. So I think most of the like professors wanted to know why MBA for me. Like that was the one thing that, was a make or break thing for them, because exactly, in fact, in one of my interviews, I'll say that like CAP interviews, I think Professor bluntly told me that, you left zoology, you'll also leave MBA. So like that sort of, that I think, they try to give you that sort of stress. But in FMS, I was mostly asked about like, the registration aspect, some in fact legal aspects of how did you go about registering your organization, stake in it. And like in Lucknow interview, they asked me about like three major challenges that I faced in scaling it. uh yeah. And I mean, more so it was about like how did I, so I also gave them a revenue estimate of how much we've earned. So they wanted to know how many sessions have we given till date, what's the revenue model, how has been the business working. This was something in Lucknow. Like Lucknow had a lot of, it was actually a good interview, but like a lot of like startup talk in that case. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's pretty interesting. Anything like, specifically that you think, one thing, if you would want to say, like, Ananta and Heath, for both of you, that ye पढ़ लिया तो for sure आपका I'm Kozhikode के interviews crack हो ही जाएंगे. Any specific thing that you would want to suggest the fellow batchmates for
I would
preparation?
say just go through the website once and just make sure that you are reading uh, stuff about the professors and everything, like what all professors, how all professors are there, and what are they doing currently, and just go through the website properly, like just skim through it properly.
I mean,
Okay, okay, yes, Ananta.
Yeah, I actually agree with Heath. So like a lot of like people who were coming out, I was not asked that question, but a lot of people who were coming from the interviews, they were asked about professors. And especially when they ask you why IIMK, don't make it a very generic answer. Like give something more better than like just the campus and that all. Like make it very specific to what professor, what course, all that. And other just be like, a bit solid on your basics, like the background that you come from. Just get an overall picture quite well.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Nice. And what about the written ability test? How was that for you guys?
But during
I
my time, we did not have it. So
Okay, lovely. How about you, Ananta?
I actually had it, but I don't remember my topic right now. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I can add anything of value if I don't know the topic. Yeah.
No worries. Great. So when you were preparing, okay, like for recently, you've just graduated last year from your CATKing, and you gave your interviews. With respect to preparation, like some of these guys have got 15 days, some of them have got like a month and a half for their preparation. How would you advise them to utilize the time right now for these interviews preparation?
Right. So actually, I've also been getting a few calls and people are asking, is it too late right now? I've not started yet. I will just suggest actually, I started around this time only because, sometimes when you get too anxious, you end up procrastinating. What I will say is keep your head down, start like just you make it fun in a way. It's actually very interesting to go through this process. I'm telling you, this will help you in your MBA, like later. It
Yeah.
makes you more confident when you stand around people who are coming from different backgrounds. So I'll say keep your head down, get on make a diary. In fact, I'll suggest start writing in like physical notes, because every interview before you have to revise like those things which you might not remember. So sit down, start with read a lot of interview transcripts, as you can find in the CATKing, the app itself. Read that because you'll get an idea of what topics. In fact, write the topics, like even when you're reading, like something you should exactly read up on, or and all that. um Other thing also, if there's like some if you're sure about your domain and all, uh, another thing that I made a mistake here in the IIM Indore interview. I was asked like which companies do I want to work in. I
Yeah.
had not searched as to like who is the current CEO of those companies. I'll make sure please get everything tight around whatever answers you have. When I say that, I mean genuinely make your answers water airtight in any sense. So that's there. So just go on with the news, the background or whatever domain you want to pursue, and keep on making notes and writing that, and probably just don't be anxious. I'm telling you, it's a fun process.
Lovely. That's really interesting. I mean, once you are done with it, yeah, it looks fun and interesting, but that's coming from an advice from seniors who've been there and done that. That instead of stressing it out, just actually put that much time and efforts in using the resources. I mean, you should read the dockets. So Ananta, did you go through any of those dossiers and the WATPI dockets which were there, those students' experiences and all? Do you think that was helpful?
Yeah, actually, I think so even on the internet you find it all scattered, but here, since like you had questions from every domain, so I think I read up all of it, mostly because also I was so scared of like what might come up, and that's why I was like, let me take on whatever things, because beyond a point you reach a saturation. You're like, you've done this news, you've done this, and then you're like, oh, what else? And then you read these transcripts and then you're scared. You're like, they can ask anything under the sun.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I read those.
Lovely. That's really good and interesting. Okay, so I think right now this is all we are going to be sharing with the YouTube family as well. Also, I want all of you guys to hold on. We will talk a little bit more in depth for your IIM Kozhikode interviews. And thank you so much for the YouTube folks who are there online. And we shall see you guys tomorrow as well for the next session.
Ma'am, one thing I would like to add, just make sure that you are like narrating a good story about your entire profile and everything, so that the interviewers find it more interesting and they ask you more on that.